Hey gamers, summer's over and welcome to my first ever pickups video for August of 2013. Okay, I'm starting off with some PC games. The games are in no particular order, just divided by system. And the PC games I have here are not new to my collection per se. I actually found these while looking through the CDs in my house. And these are all games that I used to own and play as a little baby before my dad bought me the PlayStation 1. First one here is Ζωντανό παραμύθι, η Disney παρουσιάζει τον Ηρακλή. And this is in English, Disney's animated storybook Hercules. It's what it says on the box essentially. It's Disney's Hercules in interactive storybook form. Next one is also what it says on the box. Φτιάξε τα δικά σου comics Garfield, which the English title is, I believe, I create my own comics Garfield. I know it's not a direct translation. And yeah, you make your own comics with Garfield. I remember using this a lot as a kid, and I printed a lot of the comics I made out, though I don't think I've kept any. But really cool to have this back on my shelf. Next is Pokemon Project Studio Red version. I don't recall using this much as a kid. Like, I remember making a bunch of Pikachu and Mewtwo stickers, but then I don't think I've touched it again. But it's interesting to find this, because it's a Pokemon game not made by Nintendo, and it's not Pokemon per se, it's just like stickers and badges and stuff, and thank you cards. I'm pretty sure this used to be a big box version, but there's no chance in hell that me or my parents kept the big box. Still cool to have the CD bookcase for this though. And this is a Greek game. It's produced by a Greek studio. There's no English version. Ο Λαβύρινθος της Γνώσης. In English that will be the Labyrinth of Knowledge. And what I found interesting, and I didn't know until I saw this, is that this is for primary 3 to primary 6. I believe somewhere here it said Γάμα του Στίγμα Τάξη. Must have been inside the manual. And I used to play this when I was like 2. So yeah, badass me. Next up, I've got a bunch of Game Boy games, most of which are sealed, factory sealed. First one is Lara Croft Tomb Raider Legend. I actually have this, so this is a duplicate copy. I just couldn't resist not picking one up. I didn't pay the sticker price for these, of course, so I wouldn't have bought a spare for 10 euros. But yeah, I'm gonna trade this or sell this or something for something I don't already own. Next up is the Ant Bully, which I am leaving sealed. I have no idea what kind of game this is. It looks like a top-down action platformer from the screenshots at the back of the box. And next is Finding Nemo, which I'm tempted to open because I hear good things about this game. Like, it's apparently a platformer in the sense of Echo the Dolphin being a platformer. Like, it's side-scrolling and it's 2D, and you can swim up and down and left and right and stuff. It seems to be loosely based on the movie. THQ is really hit and miss when it comes to their games, but as I said, I've heard lots of good things about this, and I'm really tempted to rip this open, but I probably won't. And finally, I have FIFA World Cup Germany 2006. This is sealed but not factory sealed, so I don't know what I'm going to do with this, because I don't like current gen football games. I don't think I'm going to appreciate this very much. Next up are some Wii games. The Blob 2 is a platformer where you color everything. As you can see, it's still sealed. I haven't played this yet. I want to, but it's gonna ruin the first game for me, because I heard that this and the first game are both great, but this is much better than the first game. So if I play this, I won't appreciate the first game nearly as much. So I'm just gonna leave it sealed for now. And then I have Epic Mickey, still sealed, and again I'm tempted to rip this open because this is a great platformer, and I've actually had my eye on this for a while. I've had my eye on both of the Wii games for a while, and I just happened to walk into a store one day and they had 70% off on these, so I couldn't resist grabbing them. I also bought Wipeout 2048 from that store, but I'm not going to talk about this here because I already did so in my PS2 and PS Vita video. Okay, from the same store as the Game Boy games, I got Generation of Chaos for the PSP, still sealed. It seems to be a real-time strategy game. I'm not really much into the RPG-like real-time strategy games, so I don't know if I'm going to play this. I probably will just leave this sealed. And then I move on to the PS2 games. I've already beaten this one, Crash Tag Team Racing. It feels like a lot like the original Crash Team Racing, but with lots of added features. Like you can clash into the opponent's cars, which essentially fuses your vehicles and creates this armored behemoth that you can use to blow everyone off the track. And it's also got platforming sections, so it's more like a collectathon than a straight-up racing game. You have to visit all the tracks to unlock them before you can race them. There's lots of stuff for you to collect, like die-oramas, where it's essentially different ways for Crash to die, and all the racers, different cars and different outfits. It's actually really fun, but the ending is very disappointing. I'm not going to say more because I don't want to spoil things. Second Sight is apparently a psychological thriller game for the PlayStation 2 by the same people who made Time Splitters. So I could not resist getting this. Even though I haven't played it yet, I'm really looking forward to do so. Next I've got Monster Jam, Maximum Destruction. What can I say about this? It's a game about monster trucks. How can you go wrong? Next is Samurai Jack, The Shadow of a Coup. Platformer with Samurai Jack. Again, one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows, so I'm really looking forward to playing this. Next up is my only Metal Gear Solid game, Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. I'm really ashamed that I've never played Metal Gear before this, and I would really like to try this out, especially with the Legendary Collection just being released. War of the Monsters is a really wacky fighting game from what my friend tells me. I got all the PS2 games off a friend, by the way, and this one he gave to me for free because he's been talking about it to me for ages and he really wanted me to try it out. And I will give this a shot as soon as I am done with Killer 7, which is also a new game, by the way, and I'm not showing it here because I already talked about it in my PS2 video. Next is DNA, Dark Native Apostle by Hudson. That's right, that's the people who made Bomberman, and this is supposed to be some sort of creepy Deus Ex-like game. It's a top-down, third-person kind of shooter. You shoot bombs out of your arms. Okay, it's the same people who made Bomberman. How are we not surprised he can shoot bombs out of his arms? But he can also get enhancements with biochips and stuff, and this seems interesting, but it doesn't seem to be very popular from the reviews I've read. Maybe I'll give it a shot, maybe I won't. It's already open, so I'm not losing anything. Demon Summoner, or Diamond Summoner. I'm just going to call this Demon Summoner. Again, I haven't played this. My friend says it's like Van Helsing sort of feel, so this might be interesting to play. Summoner 2 is an RPG by THQ. Like I said before, THQ games are really hit and miss, so I don't know if I'm going to play this, but just like DNA, it's already open, so I've got nothing to lose. Whiplash is a really wacky platformer. You're playing as test subject animals that are trying to break out. It's by Eidos, the same people who made Lara Croft and Thief and Deus Ex, so I've got really high hopes for this game, and it says here on the box it got a 9 out of 10 review, so I want to try this out. Great game apparently to have in my PS2 library. Next is Gauntlet 7 Sorrows, an RPG by Midway. Apparently it can support up to 4-player co-op, so this might be an interesting party game. Another game I've already beaten is Ratchet & Clank 3 by Insomniac. Again, it's an amazing game. I love the Ratchet and Clank series, but especially compared to recent games, it feels kind of off. Like, you need to equip your gadgets before you use them, whereas in the newer games like Tools of Destruction, you can just press a button and they're used, so they don't take up weapon slots in your quick select. And the final boss also felt kind of disappointing. Not nearly as much as Crash Tag Team Racing, but I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to spoil this. I might just make a review video for this once I start making review videos, and I'm going to talk about it in more detail there. But I'm just going to say this, it feels disappointing. Black Buccaneer is a game about pirates with voodoo, and you can't really go wrong with that, but according to reviews online, they went wrong with that, and I just want to see this for myself. I want to see how bad this is. I've always loved Digimon, so even though my friend said it's best if I wouldn't get it because it's a horrible game, I got Digimon World 4, because like Black Buccaneer, I want to see how good or bad it is with my own eyes. I'm hoping for the best. Shin Megami Tensei Lucifer's Call was actually at the top of my friend's PlayStation 2 pile, and as soon as I saw this, I knew I was going to buy stuff from him, because I've been looking for Lucifer's Call for a while now, and I couldn't find one for a reasonable price with shipping to Cyprus included. So I knew I just had to have this, and I'm really looking forward to playing this, because I haven't played a Shin Megami Tensei game since I beat Innocent Sin. I really trust the Shin Megami Tensei series. They make really great RPGs, so I have really high hopes for this. Next, in my PS2 video, I said that I did not have an original box for Disgaea Hour of Darkness. And I bought a spare game, like something I already had, so I switched the boxes. Now this comes in an original PS2 box, and I have Disgaea Hour of Darkness complete. And my friend gave me the manual for Lara Croft, Angel of Darkness. Again, something I already had, but not complete. I was missing the manual, so it's great to complete games. And finally, remember in my PS2 video where I said that I would like to give my cousin's favorite game a whirl? Well, the disc was badly scratched and completely unreadable, so I bought this from my friend. This is actually a duplicate game I was talking about. You can see I switched the boxes with the Disgaea game. It's a darker shade of blue as compared to the Lara Croft game, for example. I've got a game with an original PS2 case on my shelf, but I got this here to show you all that I bought another Italian job. Well, that's it for my pickups from August. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you for another one next month. Cheers.